Hi there, you're watching the Aussie BIM Guru, and today I've got an exciting video and a quick demonstration to show you of a product that I've just released. So this is going to be a demonstration of my Revit 2020 template from BIM Guru. So this is my work, not my play. Aussie BIM Guru is my play, this is my work. But I thought I'd announce it on the channel as well because a lot of people might find some use in this. So it's a Revit 2020 template. The purpose of this video is I'm going to show you how to obtain it or purchase it. I'm going to quickly demonstrate it to you and just talk about some future products that are coming that will support the template and beyond. Please note that don't feel pressured to buy this template just because I'm showing it to you. It's up to you if you need this or if it's going to help you. Do note that it might help you a little bit in future on some of my videos because it's got a lot of my best practices contained in it, and it is set up to handle a basic Revit project, maybe even a medium to advanced one with the right skill set. So it might help you learn a bit faster using this template. And so far the feedback I've got from people purchasing the template has been really positive. They've been quite surprised with how cheap it is for what it is, and I decided not to make it too expensive because I know that everyone around the world can afford different prices, so I tried to find one that suits everyone. The pricing currently is typically $100 for the template file. For 1 week only, starting from yesterday, I'm going to be offering it at half price, so $50. So it's quite cheap in most places around the world. But I guess if you're a student or someone that's struggling with their money, do get in touch with me and maybe I can organize something for you that's a bit more fair. But don't just come to me and beg for it for free without a reason. Give me a reason if you need it. But hopefully this is a price that's affordable, at least for the first week. So what is it? It's a template built by myself and used by myself. So this is my template for Revit 2020, and it's best suited towards architects. Engineers might be able to adjust it to suit what they need, but most of what's in there is contained to suit an architectural project. So why share it? Have I gone crazy giving out my company's template? The answer is no. What I do with the template is what makes my business unique, not the template itself. So I want the industry to improve. That's really the goal of my business in BIM Guru. I want to help the industry get better, not just make money from the process of doing so. And I think that one way to do this is to provide examples to the industry of what best practice is, rather than have them all locked away inside companies that no one can access, because then there's no common knowledge or common standards that people can follow. And I guess for me, it's also just marketing. It's a walking resume. This thing will get around, I'm sure. I can't protect it from being passed around here and there. I'll try to stop it being passed around if I can see it happening. Say if I see it go up on Revit City, I'll probably come and ask them to take it down. But at the same time, it's a resume for me too. It shows people what I can do as an individual and as a business, and sort of just provide some examples to potential clients. So how do you purchase it? So it's on my website under www.bimguru.com.au, and then you'll just click on Store, which is here, and this will take you to a page that looks like this. And then there's a little Add to Cart button, but you will need to create an account before you're able to check out the template. This is just so I can see who's purchasing my products and also give them updates on my website and my store. I don't really store any information about you. My website is hosted on Wix, which might store your credit card details if you let it, but otherwise I pretty much don't store much about you except for what you tell me. At the same time too, once you go to the Revit template, there's a lot of information about it, such as what it contains, some images of examples of what's in it, and a quick promo video as well that might help you see if the product will help you. So in this template, you get a Revit 2020 template file or an RTE file, which you can start a new project from. You also get a assembly codes file, which is set to the Uniclass 2015 classification system, which is quite a commonly used classification system, and everything in the template is built to report based on this. At the same time as well, you get all the image maps for the materials in the template, because otherwise the materials don't really do anything, they don't show up. At the same time too, I give you all of my native hatch pattern files that I'm using inside the template. Now I don't have to give these away, but I think it's better to have the native format of these files because you can't extract them out of Revit easily. And of course on top of that, I've got a copy of the terms of use that you have to agree to in order to purchase the template. Available separately, I've also got a few files to support the template, such as a shared parameters file, a material library, and a keynotes file. And whilst all the information is already contained inside the template, having these files in addition can sometimes make it easier to develop and change and better understand the template as well. So these are also available on my website. And coming soon, there'll be some content suites as well. One example is a really well-developed door library, a casework library to do joinery, and also just a lot of general content, such as assemblies like accessible toilets and toilet cubicles, common elements that we need in order to deliver a project. So I'll be packaging these all as separately purchasable content, but they're going to be built to work with the template. So all the parameters and everything will be the same as the ones I use in the template, and you could essentially deliver a project using this if you needed to. I'll give you a quick demonstration of the template itself, without showing too much, because I do want some things to be a surprise when someone buys the template, but I'll show you some of the features that might interest you. So once you purchase a template, if you go to New and you browse to where the template file is located, you could put it somewhere on your server, for example, and I'll just go to this folder. You pick the RTE file and you go OK. So it's creating a new project based on the template. The first thing you'll get is a home screen with a whole bunch of information about your model that you can populate. As well as that, all the sheets have a lot of fields that allow your sheets to comply to the ISO 19650 numbering standards. So if I go to my sheet browser, which you'll notice is really heavily organized into series and then into documentation series, I can just zoom in and I can see here that I've actually got an ISO 19650 compliant drawing number, as well as a revisioning system that complies with the suitability codes as well. So if you're looking for a way to do this, this template's got a good example of how that can be achieved. You'll notice I've got a few starter sets of views and sheets as well in here. So I've got a few views that you can just start working with, including some sections and elevations and grids. So that sort of gives you something to begin with, because I find a lot of templates you start with nothing and it's just too hard to figure out where to begin. As well as that, the views are heavily organized, so they're broken down into sets. You can see they're broken down into series, but one of the great things about the way the template is set up is that it has a whole bunch of view templates already set up for all the drawing series. So it's very extensive, and if you do go to create a new view, such as say a petition setout plan, so you can pick it from here. Let's do a petition setout set, and we'll just do all the levels. Automatically, the template will sort the views for you based on the way that the view types and the templates have already been pre-configured. So it's a really good template for keeping an organized project, and it shows a system that I've been using for many years now that works really well and that doesn't seem to be widely known in the industry. As well as that, you'll notice that sometimes you see view markers, sometimes you don't. That's because I've set up some filters that specifically apply themselves to the view templates that will turn off section markers and elevation markers, for example, that aren't relevant to a drawing series. For example, typically on a general arrangement, I'll show all my major sections and elevations, but on a petition plan, I probably won't, because it's not typically that important to the petition scope. So there are some best practices I've already had set up in here for you. As well as that, there's a whole bunch of shared parameters loaded in as project parameters already, and you'll notice that my standard is very clean. This is a standard of naming that I've been using for a couple of years now, and I found that it serves the project really well. Notice everything too is prefixed with a common acronym, which in this case is BG for BIM Guru. So I've got a standard that sort of is based on my specific standard, but also branded to my standard. At the same time, there's a shared parameter file that you can purchase separately that contains all the parameters in a grouped and organized format. As well as that, if I just jump into a view, let's just chuck down a wall. Or actually, we'll do a floor first. Instead of just getting generic floors, you get a whole range of floors available, all based on types and codes. So let's say we just want to model some carpet. So I'll just pick my FCP floor, which is my carpet floor. I'll just place it down. And let's just put a few walls down. So I'll go to wall. And check it out, we've got a whole bunch of walls available for use. So you've got some brick walls, you've got some block walls, you've got some petition walls of different stud sizes, and there's a few miscellaneous walls in there too, like wall tiles and concrete. So you can see straight away that everything's really configured. So let's just put a concrete wall down. Notice my line weights are all set up to look really nice, and my hatch patterns are all pre-configured. I'll just place a petition wall down as well, because each element has quite a lot of data already contained in it. So if I go to the type properties of this 92mm stud wall, you can see there's a lot more information than what you usually get in a Revit element. So a lot of shared parameters have been loaded. For example, all the walls are being told, are they concrete, are they fire rated, are they insulated, etc. This allows you to filter for a lot more data or process these elements using Dynamo. So you will find a lot of data in the model, and you'll also find that everything's been set up with standard materials as well. So I have a material naming and organization standard. So once you load a path to your material maps, and there's a little guide inside the template that shows you how to do that, you'll be able to take advantage of my material standard as well. So for example, if we just look for the brickwork material, you can see it's already got hatch patterns pre-applied, cut patterns pre-applied. It has a unique asset map, and it uses image maps that I've supplied with the template as well. So it's a very strong material library. You'll find it can really help even just your projects if you want to use my materials. And as well as that, the graphic standards are very heavily organized. So if I go to manage additional standards, line patterns, you'll see that all the line patterns being used are my line patterns. So it's really easy to tell what's template compliant and what's not. As well as that, there's a lot of object styles available under certain categories. So a lot of subcategories are already pre-configured using all my 2D graphic standards. So everything's been set up to work with the content that you'll be able to purchase separately as well. So it's a very thoroughly organized template. And everything has been built so that it can be roughly rendered as an element. So you can see my petition wall has a little bit of texture because it's got a bit of texture on there. And you can see I've also got a concrete wall that's got a nicer concrete map than what the default Revit wall has. If I just change this to say a brick wall, you can see it's a pretty passable brick wall. And not only that, the patterns are lined up with the material. So there's some really nice smarts embedded in here as well. I probably won't show too much more than that, but hopefully that gives you a bit of insight into the template and some of the pre-configuration available. Probably one last thing I will show that might tilt a few people is that there's a few railings already in here, and a lot of people know how hard it can be to make good railings. For example, I can just place a industrial monowheels railing, and it's going to be a pretty nice handrail. So you can see there's some nice little preloaded definitions in there that might help you learn more about some more complex tools in Revit through what's available here, or just gain some things that you can use. I do have a couple of doors in the template, but they are what I call my basic doors. So they're very light on features. I do have some advanced doors coming at a later date that will do a lot more things. They'll open in 3D, they'll have integrated latch side clearance zones for DDA or designed for disabled accessibility. But at the moment they do have at least some fundamentals in there, but some of the features are missing from the basic doors. So I've just got a single and a double door for now, and they're still built to my standard. They're just not built in the same way that I build my advanced doors. So hopefully that'll help you experiment a little bit more with the template once you buy it, and find some more features in there, because there's a lot more buried in this template. Nearly every single aspect of the template has been customized. Even the way that I name my dimension standards, for example, is unique. And for example, I have a dimension style that I use to check the accuracy of elements, unlike the standard, which is rounded. So there's going to be a lot of things you'll find in here that are quite useful. So hopefully that convinces you that this might be a worthwhile purchase for you to learn more about BIM and Revit. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what people make of this template. So thanks for watching today, and if you've got any questions about the template or my content, or the way that my business and my channel are connected, which isn't really connected at all, it's just connected through me as a person, more than happy to answer. So feel free to leave them down below or get in touch with me through my social channels, or even through my business if it's a business related query. This presentation will be on GitHub as always. But yeah, if you're not already following and subscribing to my Aussie BIM Guru channel, feel free to, because I've got a lot more educational content to come in future. And this was just a quick promo for my business. Otherwise, I keep my business and my channel fairly separate. So hopefully I'll see you in my future videos, and I thank you for watching. Thanks. Take care. Bye.